What up, underdogs of addiction fam? This is Eric here. I know it's been a minute since I posted. Got a little new setup here for y'all. Got some lighting and stuff so we can be all professional and stuff. I just want to catch up with y'all and let you guys know what journey I've been on. And I just want to talk about what it's like an active addiction, whether you're using coke, alcohol, fentanyl, whatever your drug of choice is, marijuana, heroin, pills, Xanax bars, you know, list goes on. What is it? What are we really trying to kill inside of us? As a lot of you guys know, I went to Treehouse Recovery 2.5 years ago, followed by a time in Idaho where I spent 4.5 months in between Eagle Creek Ranch Recovery and Hope Guides. And so I spent about a total of 10 and a half, 11 months clean and sober between 2022 and 2023, where I started to learn about trauma and all these different things that really cause addiction. And so I just remember, being in the grips of my addiction. It started off as fun, going to the club and going to the bars. And the addiction really started to rear its head when I started losing family members. My uncle passed away, my grandmother passed away, and there was just a bunch of death going on. There was also having success in the music industry and having a video that got like 15 million views and was put on a TV show, and I'm making, a good amount of money. And I'm like, oh, I'm the man now. I bought a Mercedes. I got all this new clothes, all the recording equipment, like I thought I was somebody. And I realized like that didn't make me feel enough. And I started just going to the bars every day because I could drown out all of those things that I didn't like. I didn't understand what trauma was. I didn't know what depression and anxiety was when I was 25. I just knew that when I went to the bar, I didn't feel alone. When I drank, it numbed all of that childhood trauma, all that feelings of inadequacy, all those feelings of not feeling like I'm good enough, all that shame, all that guilt, all that pain. Initially, the alcohol took that away. So, man, I loved it. I'm making 10 grand a month, anywhere from 5 to 10 grand a month. Cost of living in my town isn't crazy, so I'm living it up. I don't got to go to work. And I started isolating, not being connected to others. And the only people I was connecting to was the people at the bar. And what you find at the bar is other broken people. So you form these trauma bonds, some healthy, some unhealthy. And that went on for years, making music, working out, still following my dreams. But then I loved partying. I was completely addicted to going to bars, karaoke, drinking beer, shots. And there was many things that happened during that time. I had an experience where me and a friend got in a nearly fatal car collision. We were drunk, got in a fight with some people. They called the cops. We were on a high-speed chase. No one died, nothing crazy happened, but we wrapped around a tree, and I could have been dead then. Still, that didn't get me clean. And I stayed clean for like a year actually. Then next thing I'm getting drunk. I'm trying to drive to LA drunk, waking up halfway coming to and being like, oh crap, what am I doing? Or the time when I was 26, when I was making all that money, and I get on a flight to Atlanta to go visit my friend, and then fly to Florida to visit an old friend, and I'm so blacked out drunk that like what am I doing? I'm driving to the airport at 2 a.m. in the morning, drunk, pulled over on the I-5, peeing on the freeway, and then getting in a car and just driving and parking my car at the SeaTac and like buying a $600 one-way plane ticket and like what the hell, like or being 30 and going to Arizona on my 30th birthday and getting so blacked out that I buy fucking coke for some random dude at the bar that could have killed me. Next thing you know, I'm getting arrested for possession, thrown in a cell. And that goes into when I was 28, when I got introduced to coke. And you get introduced to these drugs. I have a friend, I won't say her name, but a good childhood friend. And she told me, she got introduced to smoking Oxycontin when we were 17. She never did it before, but that was what she got introduced to, and she's been fighting that for 17 years. Some of us just got introduced to weed. Some of us, like me, just got introduced to alcohol and to using coke. And if I would have got introduced to other things and wasn't thinking straight, I could have done those too. But I was always scared to do anything hard. But what I'm getting at is, at the end of those parties, eventually things stop being fun. When you first start doing coke, you don't know about all the cuts and all the bad things about it, and you're just like, oh man, this is a great time. But Then you start feeling your mental slip. You start feeling depression. You start seeing people die and all kinds of things happening. You start seeing your dreams die. You're not working out anymore. You're not writing music or doing whatever your passion is. And eventually, 4 years after I started Blow, I found myself at rock bottom, doing illegal things to survive, toxic relationship with another addict, no music made for 4 years, 30 pounds overweight, and just completely a shell of who I was. And that's what addiction does. It takes you at the beginning, it starts as fun, and then at the end, you're like, what the fuck happened to me? And lucky for me, I surrendered and I was able to get the help I needed. And been in recovery for over 2 years now. Haven't been perfect. I've had some slips, um, just a couple. Last year I had 11 months. And then this year I've been sober most of the time. I have had a couple small lapses. But right now I think I'm coming up on like 4 months since that lapse. And since that last lapse, I decided to get on medication and finish the trauma work that I started in rehab. I think so many of us, once we go to rehab and do AA and all that, we think we have to be perfect and we're ashamed to admit that we fucked up. Not me. I knew I was a hard case. And I know until I heal most of that trauma, I know those scars are going to stay there. But if you don't heal that trauma, you'll continue to relapse or you'll just continue to suffer and have other maladaptive behaviors. You can quit your drugs, but you'll find something else to fill that hole until you fill it and heal it. So that's just kind of what I want to tell you guys and update you is that that's what I've been on. I've been finishing the trauma work. I've been diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And so we're really working on those things, looking into doing some somatic experiencing. I did some TRE, trauma release therapy. Definitely look into that, but you would want to do those things with the actual licensed therapist. It's just bodily trauma release. A lot of you guys should look into like Body Keeps the Score. A lot of our childhood trauma is stored in our bodies, so we can begin to release it from our mind and our bodies through these different therapies. And that's just where I'm at, y'all. And that's what I always believe in is healing is feeling, and that's where the curing happens. And so anyone that's watching this, wherever you're at in your journey, just know you're not alone. I know it gets hard, man. Like, trust me, like my lows and highs aren't as bad as they used to be, but yeah, I still go through it. And, just the other day, so but things are getting better and better. And just don't isolate and just stay connected and talk to people and just try to stay positive the best you can. And, I still struggle with SI sometimes. I still struggle with triggers. Like me and my ex-girlfriend been off and on for a year. She's an addict as well in recovery. That relationship, having to let go of that relationship so we can both heal, dealing with financial troubles, trying to keep everything together. And it's very easy and as an addict to allow those things to mess you up. But the beautiful thing on this side, you guys, is that I'm so much more comfortable being in recovery than I was in my addiction. I never thought I would be comfortable not being at the bar on the weekends or not being on parties. Now, like when I step into a bar, I feel uncomfortable, and I never thought I would be there. But 2 years later, you guys, I can tell you that eventually your comfort zone in recovery becomes your new comfort zone, and you don't have to stay in that lifestyle of addiction. Whether for me it was bars and clubs, for other people it was being homeless and trap houses and homeless encampments where just a lot of sick people are getting together. There's light at the end of it, and it's just a process, man. And a lot of us are in here together, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it. Underdogs of Addiction is about not about, oh, I got this time or I'm better than you. It's not about self-righteousness. It's not about like AA, oh my God, I got 21 years and I'm no, like shout out to my people in AA and stuff, but this is not what my brand is about. This brand is about we're all equal in whatever your drug of choice is, and we're all just trying to heal. I don't care if you got 20 years or 20 days, you're equal in my eyes, and your value, your story, your testimony is very valuable. And that's kind of one of my issues with AA and things of that has been is that a lot of it is shame and guilt based, and there's self righteousness in the program. That doesn't take away from a lot of the great things like community and connection, but there's some things in that community that needs to evolve. Pe- you know, I had people in that place try to tell me that I shouldn't take meds, that I shouldn't be in trauma recovery, and that not everything's gonna fail, but the big book. And I was like, dude, this is illiterate. Like, you need to work. Like, eventually, the science is gonna show that those programs are gonna become non-existent because it's like people need to heal. And so there's a book called Who AA Helps, Who AA Harms. I recommend it. And for all my brothers and sisters who got clean in NA and AA, God bless y'all. I've had a lot of great NA and AA meetings, and there's a lot of great things that take place there. But I'm about taking out the stuff that's useless and taking the things that is useful. And if people have a problem with that, I understand, but that's just me. And so I also want to let you guys know that my new album, Walking Through Fire, is almost out. I got a bunch of new music on my page, Styles with a Z, Styles Major Music. Talks about my walk with recovery, with God, and everything in between. There's some great songs I put out. Styles Major, Dear Child, is a song to my inner child. A lot of you guys know my song Lost in a High, even if you don't know it was me. It's just about to hit 300,000 views on YouTube, 3,000 comments, and I think it's just picking up steam. It's one of those, probably the best song I'll ever make in my life. It was about me losing my homeboy Zach to a heroin and speedball overdose, as well as me trying to get clean and Lost in a High. Check it out. I'll link it in the video. And so that's what I've been on, you guys. I've been making music again. I've made 8 brand new songs. The new album has like 12 tracks, some old tracks, and it's accumulation of pre-recovery, middle of recovery, and where I'm at now. It's called Walking Through Fire. It should be out within the next couple weeks by Styles Major. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. I'll be doing more vlogs like this, and stay strong.